Life seasons are shifts in the rhythm of our lives. They are thresholds that we cross, movement from one way of being into another. When you understand the season you're in, you stop fighting reality and start. And when we live this way long enough, the cost shows up quietly. We grow frustrated and restless and even disconnected, not because something is wrong with us, but because what season are you in? Are you Welcome back to this space where we explore the deep roots of the ideas that quietly shape our lives. Today we're talking about something we all experience whether we notice it or not: seasons. The wisdom of the ages has always paid attention to life's rhythms. King Solomon once wrote, "There is a time for everything. A time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance." The great philosopher Heraclitus noticed the same truth. He said, "Change is constant. Everything flows. Life moves in cycles, beginnings and endings, each with its own purpose." Ancient Chinese wisdom echoes this too. In the Tao Te Ching, Laozi teaches that life moves like the seasons. There is growth and decline, action and rest. Harmony, he says, comes from aligning yourself with the natural flow, knowing when to act and when to yield. Across cultures, across centuries, the message is the same. Life moves in seasons. So what exactly are life seasons? Life seasons are shifts in the rhythm of our lives. They are thresholds that we cross, movement from one way of being into another. Each season has its own tempo, its own challenges, and its own lessons. And while they are shaped by time, they are not necessarily governed by the clock. Unlike the weather, life seasons aren't predictable. You often don't realize you've entered a new one until you're already in it. And this is where spiritual wisdom matters. Meaning doesn't come from ignoring your season. It doesn't come from wishing you were in someone else's life. Meaning comes from understanding the season you're in and responding to it wisely. And here is another twist. Life rarely progresses in just one season at a time. You might be building something new while caring for someone who is ill. You might be thriving at work while grieving at home. Growth and loss, joy and exhaustion, often happening side by side. These overlapping seasons shape us emotionally and spiritually. And navigating that kind of complexity takes more than endurance. It takes deep insight. And when I say insight, I'm talking about the ability to hold joy and sorrow at the same time without losing your sense of meaning. That capacity doesn't come naturally. It's a muscle that needs to be trained. And here is where it becomes even more difficult. In the digital world we live in, comparison has given us a new skill, the ability to perform peace, the ability to appear circled while living in the wrong season. We learn how to curate calm, to present wholeness, even when our inner life is still fractured. And as we scroll, we believe what we're seeing. We assume others are ahead of us, more grounded, more resolved, while quietly wondering, what is wrong with me? You see, this becomes a shared illusion, a communal misunderstanding we all participate in, mistaking appearance for alignment and performance for peace. And when we live this way long enough, the cost shows up quietly. We grow frustrated and restless and even disconnected, not because something is wrong with us, but because we've lost the ability to name and embrace the season we're actually in. Look, I think we can learn a thing or two from the natural world in this one. Bears rest when it's time to rest, and birds migrate when it's time to move. Others adapt, learning how to live well right where they are. They don't resist their season, they respond to it. Human seasons are not different. Some call for action, some call for patience, some ask for resilience. This is why knowing your season matters. When you understand the season you're in, you stop fighting reality and start responding wisely. Look, every season matters. Each one contributes to the mosaic of meaning. But meaning slips away when we live out of season. Meaning returns with clarity when we understand where we are and what this season is asking of us. So let me ask you, what season are you in? Are you meant to move, or to rest, or to endure? This is important because when you learn to live in rhythm with your season, life turns to make sense. And this is exactly where many people find themselves. Not lost because they lack faith, not confused because they lack intelligence, but out of rhythm, disoriented and spiritually exhausted, unsure how to respond to the season they are in. They try to grow when the season requires rest. They endure when the season is asking for change. They measure their life against someone else's season and wonder why nothing fits. This lack of orientation quietly drains meaning and peace. And this is precisely the problem I help people solve. See, at the home of meaning, my work lives at the intersection of spirituality, meaning, and lived experience. I help people identify their season, understand what it's asking of them, and move forward with clarity instead of confusion. Not with quick answers, by the way, not with empty cliches, but with honest reflection, with integration and direction. If you're at the crossroads, if something feels out of rhythm, if you sense a season shifting but don't know how to respond, if you're ready to begin making sense of your seasons and to move forward with clarity, reach out. Let's connect. I'll leave the details in the description below. And whether or not we do ever meet, I am glad that you are here at this very moment, because learning to live well in your season matters.
Joy and grief share the same sacred space. We bloom, endure, we rest and rise, and meaning meets us where